Hi again, everybody. I'm Jamie Allison, and this is the Big Idea, Big Moves podcast. This is the destination for high performers. We talk to people from different genres, different niches, just people doing really cool things in their space. We talk to CEOs, lots of athletes, lots of entrepreneurs, and again, people just doing really interesting things that we can take bits and pieces away from their journey and what they're doing, and hopefully apply them to our own lives as well. I know we have one of those that we're going to be talking to today. Pretty cool guest coming up. Just before we jump into it, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know we have a connection with Thirdsy. And if you don't know what that is, well, we all know that sleep is a key to building muscle, improving athletic performance, and just increasing general productivity for those people that are trying to do that as well. But winding down and getting to sleep can sometimes be tough for some people. So Thirdsy has a PM recovery collagen that can help with that. It's all natural. So it's packed with nutrients, amino acids, and supports quality sleep and muscle recovery at the same time. It has no melatonin or sedatives or anything like that, so you won't get hooked or feel really groggy when you get up in the morning. So if you have those issues and maybe you want to try something out, definitely go to thirdsy.com. That's THIRDZ or ZY.com, and use the code BIBM20, and you can get 20% off there as well. So definitely check that out. So today I'm really excited. I have Nicole Greco-Peepas with us. She is a certified personal trainer, an Equinox group trainer, a TRX master trainer, a CrossFit coach, a whole bunch of different things and more. She's also known to a lot of the listeners as well. Will know her as a personal trainer and friend of Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa. But she's also she's a mom, an entrepreneur, brand ambassador, fitness influencer. So tons of things going on, Nicole. So first of all, I just like to thank you for taking the time with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jamie. My God, that was some intro.
Well, there's lots of things there, and I think that's it's really cool that that you have kind of spent lots of time in that space, and we can really talk to
Yep.
your experiences, and maybe I'll jump in just before we kind of go through your journey and things like that. Obviously, Real Housewives stuff is really out there for a lot of people listening right now because it's so busy with their reunion show and stuff. Is that weird, kind of that you, because you're that kind of close friend of the family and stuff, you get kind of brought into some of those conversations? Is that strange
You,
still
you
to you?
know, I've known Teresa for 25 years. We've been friends for years.
Yeah.
And I trained her off and on through the years. I did not train her on her journey of going on to the stage
Yeah.
because I don't really kind of train like that.
Yeah.
I'm not that bodybuilding type trainer.
Yeah.
But you know what? We've had a friendship that's last through thick and thin through all these years. So we work out together. We have fun. We go on great walks. We've had a great relationship. So the training just kind of escalated as we got older. We're both getting
Yeah.
older. She's a mom of four beautiful girls. I'm a mom of two children around the same age. And as we just grew to get older, we just started evolving ourselves. We're not reinventing the wheel with fitness. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's working out with weights. Who's doing cardio? Who's doing CrossFit? How do we stay new and fresh? That's what we think with the times and
Yeah.
everything out there. So, you know what? It's about having a good relationship with a good friend. I've been on the show a couple of times as a friend in the background with a tequila.
Yeah.
And also, oh, yeah, you've seen me
The
with a
best
drink.
way, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And also, on their training, Dolores and Jennifer. Um, and, everybody goes through their times of different things and different training.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. It's been a great journey. I love it.
Very cool. Well, let's talk about your journey a little bit because you have been kind of in this space for a while and
Yeah.
done kind of
hmm
different things as you've went through it. Why don't you just give us kind of that snapshot of, why, how did you get to this point, and what, why has this been such a big thing? Like fitness and health been a big thing in your life for that amount of time?
Very simple. I don't want to bore everybody by it with a long, drawn out story. I moved
Yeah.
to Greece. I was with my husband in Greece. We lived there for 3.5 years. He was an expat working for an insurance company. I can't work there.
Hmm.
So having a no visa, I meet my neighbor who is a karate sensei. And that's where it all took off. She's a karate sensei. I started doing karate with her for 3 times a week. By the time I left Greece 3.5 years later, I became a black belt in Shotokan karate. I came home, wanted to continue the regime of fitness and health and how it became so important to me.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, I found out I was pregnant. Bam, here we go. I'm
Yeah.
pregnant, new baby on the way. I still want to continue. I continue with karate. In the karate studio, there's 2 people boxing. I
Yeah.
look over and I'm like, wow, that looks really good. That looks really fun. I'm kind of, I like to work with my hands a lot. So I'm like, this is going to be great. So now I get into boxing and then I never look back.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic workout for your mind, for your mental health, physically. It's a fantastic workout. So boxing became on the path to personal training,
Mhm.
then CrossFit, then it just started escalating. Personal training, group fitness. My
Yeah.
next door neighbor is and still is my group fitness instructor for Equinox. I've
Yeah.
been with Equinox in New Jersey for 13 years. I'm the lead boxing trainer there. So boxing's been a huge passion, a huge part of my life. And then everything just escalated. Then CrossFit came along.
Yeah.
And if you remember, Christmas Abbott is a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And, we got into CrossFit to become better in our sport. So I wanted to take on CrossFit to become a better boxer, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, because
Wow.
before it was a sport, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You got into CrossFit to train your endurance, to train your mental, your capacity, your endurance capacity, your VO2 max. I
Yeah.
mean, everything to be better at your own sport. And that's how I got into CrossFit and then forget about it. I was wearing the flat trainers,
Yeah.
the knee sleeves, the headband, the Converse, and then, started doing CrossFit forever.
Yeah. Now, it seems like all of those things you do are pretty high intensity and very like very multi-active, I guess, like very
Mhm.
hit style workouts. Is that a personality thing for you? Is that because you just feel like that's the most effective? Why those things? I mean, like
It,
is that just you, or is that generally what you think from a fitness
it
standpoint is
definitely
better?
fits my personality,
Yeah.
absolutely. But again, like I say, and I say to my clients, we're all different.
Hmm.
We're not inventing the wheel. If you don't like to work out in this style, go find something you like. It could be Zumba, it could be a dance class. Right now, I walk every day. I walk every day. I did
Yeah.
75 hard. This is the second time I did it. I just finished the last time. If you
Yeah.
know anything about 75 Hard, Andy Frisella, great guy, very motivational speaker. This is the second time I did it. One of the workouts was cardio outside for 45 minutes. Doesn't matter the rain, the weather, the snow, the sleet. You have to be outside for that 45 minutes. It changed my life, that whole walk.
Yeah.
So, one of the things to take away, is walking changes everybody. Get outside, get in that weather and just walk, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So, again, that was different for me. I'm always go, 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 hit weights, how intense can I have it? And then I notice, wait, hold on. I'm going to be 50 in December.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to slow down a little bit for me. How can I do that? Just start walking. Take the headset out and just start walking outside. It's been great. So I do a 45-minute every day outside.
I think that would be interesting to a lot of people that are listening. Is that you, even somebody who is very into fitness and all those things, are looking at how maybe you change kind of your approach to some of those things as you get older, and how do you may not do the same CrossFit workout that you might have done 20 years ago, because it's your body does different things as you get a little bit older or has different capacities. Is that something that um, you think is really needed in some of, like, in your clients, having to kind of make sure you scale and realize kind of differences as you age?
It is. And you'll hear it from all your other interviewers that you have on.
Yeah.
Form is always number one. We go by form and we go by safety. But you know what? Age is a number and it's how you feel. Am I constantly going for that PR? No, not anymore.
Yeah.
but I'm still going. I'm still going and see what I can do. There's 25-year-olds, there's 30-year-olds in the gym, and they're looking at me. I'm trying to keep up with them. I'm a little competitive. Okay, and I like that side, but you don't have to be anymore. It's what works for you. But I say everybody's got to move. You have to move, and you have to lift weights. You have to lift weights. It might
That's
be
important because I think a lot of people miss that they think that that's the first thing to go is to lifting weights, thinking that that's a reason. But I think a lot of things you read now is that that's actually more important as you age, is to make sure there's resistance training.
it's that skeletal muscle mass. The one thing I do every year is I do my in body. Your in body is your body fat percentage, your visceral fat. It gives you a whole synopsis of your body and how it looks. And one thing that I've noticed year after year as I'm getting older is my skeletal muscle mass is going up. That's all I really care about, Jamie, because if
Yeah.
I fall, I'm not going to break anything.
Yeah.
That to me is like the epitome of health.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
very interesting. And you've talked about, and this is that health piece and that kind of whole life health, kind of whole life success piece as well, is that you have kids, you have your own fitness, but then you also have your job that is the fitness part. And
Mhm.
how do you balance those things? It can be very difficult regardless, but what are some of the things that work for you to be able to try to do that?
I'm up early every day. And some of your listeners might not want to be, but if you can take that 1 hour earlier, that 1 hour, maybe you're getting the laundry done, you're cooking lunch for the kids, or you're prepping some meal prep, whatever, or you're going to the gym early. I pride myself on I get up every day around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm at the gym at 5. I make that my first priority. If you sleep, you eat, you train. I mean, that's it. You have to make that a priority. Now, again, I like to work out in the morning. By 8 o'clock at night, I'm dead. That's it. I'm done. I'm ready for bed. Some people need that fuel of the food that they intake all day long to work out at night. For me, I'm better in the morning. I don't promote working out on an empty stomach, but it works for me.
Yep.
Okay. So I do that fasted workout. And then as soon as I come home, there's the egg whites, there's the oatmeal, there's the fat. I look at my macros and I have that complex meal as soon as I get home from the gym. So I get up early and that's when I get it done. You got to make yourself the priority first.
Yep.
Because, like I always say, and I say to all my clients, and I don't want this to sound selfish, but I come first, then my husband, then my children. It has to be that scenario. And it might sound selfish that my kids come, but if these two people are happy, this whole house is happy. And I show the children as well. My son loves to work out now. My daughter's just kind of getting into it right now,
Good.
really seeing how moving her body makes her feel good. But
Mhm.
you know what? We're all very much into fitness, into health.
Yeah.
We don't have to be in the best shape. Might have to have a six pack, but you have to move. And so I always make myself a priority in the morning.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned the nutrition side a little bit too, which is
Mhm.
which is interesting. And you said that you follow your macros and things like that. Is that like, do you do that every day? Like, do you have very set, here's my goals, I follow it,
I
and do you do
I
that with your
try
clients
to.
as well? Okay.
I try to. I try to encourage them to. If I'm going out and I know the restaurant I'm going to, unfortunately, I have the habit of looking at the menu. I'm going to look at the menu and I'm going to see what they have.
Hmm.
If I cut back on some carbs for that day, I'm having that drink. I'm having that tequila. I'm having that wine, which is fine.
Yep.
But everybody talks about moderation. And I want people to understand what moderation is for someone like me.
Hmm.
Moderation for someone like me is maybe 3 to 4 times a month. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Keep it tight. I have to perform every day for myself, for my clients. So I know I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock. What am I going to do? 10 o'clock at night, start eating ice cream and snacks. I
Hmm.
know I got to get up in the morning and perform. So again, that's my job. But if you want to feel good and perform, you have to take some of those things into priority.
That's interesting. And y- you know when as you've went through this, I mean, I'm sure at different times there's different people you'd kind of connect with, but did you have certain kind of mentors or influences and especially now that you're doing kind of more than just fitness stuff, you're doing businesses related to that. Have there been people that you've really looked to and kind of learned a lot from?
Oh God, yeah, so many people over the years. One of them is your guest, Christmas Abbott.
Yeah,
About 2 years ago, we started following each other on
yeah,
Instagram. And about 7 months ago, I reached out to her about some fitness opportunities that she has going on. And
yeah,
she's been a great mentor to me. I see a great relationship in the near future, a really close relationship with her.
yeah,
Uh, but looking at her as a mother, as an athlete, going through having a baby
hmm,
and, everything that and takes with that. I mean, I know I've been there.
yeah,
So maybe right now it's my time to help her in her life. She has a new baby.
hmm,
Well, not that new, 8 months, but she
yeah,
does have younger children. I have a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old.
hmm,
So I've been there, I've done that. So maybe it's my time to give her the kind of advice that she maybe have given me back in the past, even though she didn't know she was giving it to me. I
yeah,
looked at
yeah,
her, the first NASCAR pit girl. I looked
yeah.
at her as a crazy CrossFitter lifting 230 pounds over her head. And I'm like, when can I do that? Can I be like that one day? So, yeah. And now the opportunity to work with her is even more exciting.
Very cool, very cool. And you've branched out a lot lately. I know that we're going to talk a little bit about I know a program that you're doing and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
when you go into kind of being an entrepreneur, so doing the other stuff that I talked to other Christmas being a good example of that is
Mm-hmm.
that you have some people that are really comfortable doing the fitness thing and doing all that, and then they have to learn how do you build a business around some of these things, whether it's online or other things. Has there been something that's been like what's been the biggest challenge for you in doing some of those things as you've went along? Like, is there something surprising that it was like, oh, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be,
Well,
or things
well,
like
that's
that?
it. For me, I mean, 49 years old, it's the social media.
Yeah,
I feel like I have to hire one of these college kids to do it all for me.
yeah, yeah,
That's challenging for me. But you know what? As I always say, my personality, my personality is what sets me apart from other people. So I think my personality in business, I started out in fashion for years, so I have a relationship and I could talk to people. Now that it's turned into fitness, it changes things a little bit. But again, social media for me is the hardest to
yeah,
understand, to play with. But again, I think once people start to know me, they understand, they see my personality. I'm
mhm,
fun, I'm down to earth. I'm a mom,
yeah,
like all some of your other guests that you have on.
absolutely.
That's all we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
We're mothers first. We're wives, and we're trying to wear many hats.
Yeah. And when you go through that, I mean, you're right. A lot of people we've had on the show have that's the thing I think that people really relate to is that that most of those things. I mean, it's the same as anybody else who's listening. They all have kind of everybody has their challenges and things like that. I guess that's with social media. It's I keep looking at a few of the people that we had on where when they have social media it can be fantastic. And then there's other times where it's like, okay, this is not just hard, but it's also that you have to kind of live your life out there a little
Yeah,
more than you did
yeah.
before. Have you found that has that been a challenge at all for you, or is it something that you're pretty used to, so it doesn't kind of bother you? Because I mean, people obviously will say what they want on social media, all those fun things too. What's that like for you?
Oh yeah, and people can be real, real negative. I can't believe they actually sit behind a computer and do it. Again, I have young kids, so I'm learning how to work the social media. But again, there's family time, there's work time, and there's the time to just juggle it all and where everything fits in. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of times that these phones and these computers and the stuff goes away and we just sit and talk.
hmm,
I'm of Italian descent. That's really big in my family. We have a lot of Sunday dinners together, and that fortunately is just for us and us alone. So I don't film everything or go live,
yep,
but I love it. I'm pretty funny. I know I am. I like being in front of the camera. I'm pretty good at it,
yeah.
and so I can incorporate it into my life, and I know when enough is enough.
Yeah. Well, and it allows you to build a bit of a community, that which is part of what you're wanting to do, I think, and
Absolutely.
people so they
Yep.
can see you and see more of
Hmm.
what we see, and having these conversations and things like that, is that it's a great thing to be able to kind of build some of that community around it as well. So, um, it- are you a I write all my goals down kind of person? Like, I mean, you might be an A-type personality in some areas, but do you really ascribe to, I do heavy goal settings, or how much of it is just what comes and I move along with it? What's that like for you?
I think about a woman came into my life at about 8 months ago. I started training her, and
Hmm.
she did Reiki and yoga, and I actually owe a lot to her because I started writing down my thoughts. I
Hmm.
started writing down what I want, what I foresee in my life, and almost creating my own destiny.
Yeah.
So I've been writing all these things down, and slowly but surely, some things are coming out. So it's sort of like a vision board.
Hmm.
You know, a lot of people make vision boards for themselves. I'm trying to teach my kids how to do it. And believe it or not, some of these things I believe can come true in their life. And I'm almost saying to myself, wow, now at 50 years old, I'm doing this. You know, this is time. This is my time now. I think
Yeah.
it's my right time. My kids are coming into themselves and they're learning who they are. Now is another circle in life for me. So I think it's time for me to take that off. So yes, I do put little quotes out there, put little things out there in the world and see if the universe talks back to me.
Yeah, yeah, no, it is interesting because it's those stages as well that
Yeah.
if as you get to that stage where your kid, I mean, my kids are about the same and they're
Mhm.
off kind of doing things, and it does change your perspective on what you can do yourself at that point.
Right.
So that's great. So one of the things that we ask when we go through this is just to kind of have a couple of takeaways that I know people are already going to have lots of those things out of our conversation, but I know that you're great at putting together kind of, working with clients and figuring out fitness programs and things like that. There's probably tons
Mhm.
of people who've been listening that maybe aren't fully into that yet, or have come off of it and decide, this is a time where I need to kind of get myself back into some kind of a fitness routine, fitness program. Do you have a couple of tips as to those people who are maybe thinking about it but haven't acted yet, what to do, like how to start things off?
You have to start with small goals.
Hmm.
Small goals first. The first goal I say is, again, we talked about it earlier, Jamie, walk outside. Get outside. If it's 15 minutes, that's all you can do. That's fine. When you come home at night and it's easy to just, you're exhausted, you want to order food, you don't want to cook, you just want to sit on the couch. That's the time to say, okay, I can do this. Let me
Yeah,
go and walk. So that's the first thing. And then
yeah,
I also am huge about drinking water. I drink about a gallon a day.
yeah.
Yeah, I know it's hard, but I keep that one glass of water next to my bed. As soon as I get up in the morning, I finish that one glass of 8 to 16 ounces. It makes you feel so good that you get that as the first thing in the morning.
That's a great tactic. Yeah, a lot of people
I,
wouldn't
I
think
love
of
that
that the
little
first thing.
takeaway. I love
Yeah,
that.
no, that's perfect. And so I know that you've kind of got some fitness program stuff happening right now.
Yep.
Maybe just tell us a bit about kind of what's happening with you right now, and that program in particular. I saw that you're kind of doing some of the launch stuff with us, so tell us about it.
So right now, I just started with on my Instagram on Nicole Greco-Peepas, Nicole Peepas. I
Yep.
just started a subscription just to get to know me and do 2 to 3 workouts a week
Hmm.
that I program for you at your own fitness level. Again, it's not one-on-one coaching, but it's something that's out there, just
Yep.
using your body weight. I figured I start with that first. Um, Myself and Christmas will be starting an app
Hmm.
shortly, and I'll be doing a little bit of a challenge. So you're going to have a 3 week challenge, a 6 week challenge, and this is something to get motivated again, something to get back to yourself.
Hmm.
It might not be for the beginner person that's just
Yep.
starting a fitness regime. That might be more of my Instagram subscription,
Hmm.
something new, something basic. The app, the challenge might be like a second workout or something that you want to add to your fitness regime. Um, and then I'm talking a little bit about the website, a website that we've been created, NicoleNGPmethod.com.
Okay.
So we started that. And then I'm talking about a little brand subscription.
Yeah.
Little
Wow.
brand is happening. Everybody kind of knows me as Bro.
Hmm.
I, I'm the Italian from New Jersey, and I've been calling people Bro and using Bro for a long time. So it's just me, Bro. So
That's awesome. Well, because I know that you have those connections there. We'll make sure that I think in our show notes as well, we'll put it right in there so people can check that out. So there's some really cool stuff, I think, and seeing
great.
lots of things. So, is Instagram the best way to connect through right now, then, Nicole? If we put that into the show notes, is that
Instagram is the best way to connect with me.
all
It's
right?
Nicole Peepas. And again, you can subscribe right now. We're just doing a subscription for once a month, if you like, and get a couple workouts a week. It's in my garage, nothing fancy. You don't have to wear fancy outfits. It's something just simple to start
That's
out.
and and so many people, that's probably exactly what they would want. So, so what we will do is we'll put right in the show notes. We'll put your Instagram and just go through there. And I know you have kind of a link tree in there that they can use and go through to that. So, I would say, I mean, definitely, give Nicole a follow if you aren't already there as well, and just make sure that you connect with those things. And we will do the best to promote that as well. But I know people are going to have lots of stuff taken away from today. But again, I know that you're crazy busy, Nicole. So thank you so much for spending the time with us today and sharing a lot about your journey and everything as well. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much, Jamie. I thank you for having me, Jamie. I appreciate it.
No worries at all. And to everybody else, we will talk again on Big Idea, Big Moves.